Hey, what's going on, fam? So another video, real short. Again, I kind of have to talk about this ongoing ADOS, uh, FBA beef, or whatever you want to call it, division. Um, because obviously I spend a lot of time talking about it, and also too, for those of you who don't know, but probably mostly everyone who listens to my channel does know, Jason Black, the Black Authority of the Black Channel, he recently came out and took sides in this, and he kind of predictably took Tariq's side. Um, and I'm probably going to make a video touching on my opinion on that video, um, but that's not this video. But I just want to say, obviously, it's still kind of going on, the drama, whatever. At least a little bit. Tariq's kind of fallen back from it. So has Tone and Yvette for the most part, I think. I don't really watch them as much anymore, especially since well, first of all, to be honest, I never really watched them as much. Um, Even went before the beef, because like I said, I have my own issues with them, which I'll probably be making videos continuing addressing some of those points, since they obviously still do have a lot of influence with a lot of people in our community. Um, but anyway, I digress. What I was saying was basically, for the most part, as far as to my knowledge, Tone and Yvette has also fallen back from it. I know for sure, because I definitely listen to Tariq regularly, that he's kind of fallen back from it from the most part, even though he's kind of made a couple of little low-key mentions here and there still of ADOS. He's kind of fallen back from that beef. But the reason why I'm going to keep talking about it is obviously people like Jason Black are still talking about it. Plus, there's a lot of videos that I wanted to make back when everything was going on, but I didn't have the time to, because I have work and a life and other things, and making YouTube videos is very time consuming. For those of you who don't know what it's like to make a YouTube video, even a basic ones, just voiceover video essays like mine, are time consuming. But anyway, I digress, because what I want to talk about is, I just want to give that pre-explanation on why I'm continuing with this subject matter. But anyway, what I want to talk about is something that I did come across that I want to go ahead and clarify and apologize for. So first of all, I do owe Antonio Moore, Yvette Carnell, and the ADOS people who kind of stuck in their camp and supported them uh, an apology. The reason why I owed him an apology is because part of the reason why I had been defending Tariq is because I said that he had never said anything about opportunity zones. And to my knowledge, and from what I had seen, he hadn't said anything about opportunity zones. However, it has come to my attention by looking at the tweet that you see up on the screen, this tweet where Tariq is saying, I actually agree with Trump here. Uh, that tweet, when you actually click the video, Trump is only talking about opportunity zones. The text above the video is talking about opportunity zones, and Trump actually in the video is only talking about opportunity zones. So the fact that Yvette and Tone were all going on and on about opportunity zones, at first it seemed like a straw man babble tactic, because Tariq was not, at least from what I had seen, Tariq was not supporting or defending opportunity zones or any specific Trump policies. But it's a lot easier to see how Yvette and Tone had that impression if you look at this tweet. Now, so I do owe Yvette and Tone an apology for defending Tariq on that point. And I owe the ADOS family, or their supporters, the people who are in their camp. Where obviously ADOS is supposedly a lineage, so everybody's ADOS, whether they were supporting or against Tone, or that are actually ADOS that have the lineage. But I'm just saying, for this particular discussion, people who are more so in the ADOS, the organization, I owe you an apology for defending Tariq on this point, because Tariq, regardless of what he meant or what he was trying to say with this tweet, it's a bad look, and he should be more responsible to know what he's tweeting or know how it's portrayed, because all he put is, I actually agree with Trump, and all Trump is talking about is opportunity zones. So that can't be defended. And I wanted to make this video a couple of days ago, but like I said, I had made several other videos, and I didn't have the time once this information came to me. But now I'm making it, um, and I want to, put that out there that, I was wrong, and I'm happy to admit that, or I'm okay with admitting that. I don't have too much ego to not be able to admit that. However, let me say this on the other end before we wrap this video. This still does not mean I believe that Tariq has all of a sudden become a Trump supporter. This also does not mean that I still don't think that Yvette and Tone could have reached out to Tariq privately before they came at him publicly. I really don't agree with that. I still don't like that. I still don't trust Yvette and Tone. And like I said, I probably will make more videos discussing why I don't trust them. I still don't trust them to lead a movement like ADOS or any movement that is basically an anti-white supremacy movement. Whether they want to call it that or not, that's what it is. And I've already explained that in other videos. So I still have those apprehensions. I still don't like the way that they jumped out the window. I still feel that based on Tariq's track record, he has no reason to become a Trump supporter. I just believe that he was being sloppy in this tweet. And it's okay for Yvette and Tone to address him behind closed doors. And then if he doesn't listen, then you can come out publicly with it, and you'll have your receipts of the private conversation you attempted to have before you went public with it. But the fact that you just jumped out with the public attacks based on um, Ebro, who's an anti-ADOS agent who gets his information from Talib Kweli, which means he still should have had no credibility with Tone or Yvette. That still stands. Also, what still stands is, again, why I was first under the impression that Tariq never said anything about opportunity zones, because what Tone used to jump out the window on Tariq was that Ebro tweet, and that Ebro tweet did not include a screenshot of Tariq talking about, I actually agree with Trump here on the opportunity zone stuff. So again, even though ADOS people and supporters have produced this tweet from Tariq showing where he did actually defend or agree with opportunity zones, and if he wasn't agreeing with it, he didn't clarify it, because all he said was, I actually agree. But when you watch the video, the only thing he's talking about is opportunity zones. So what do you agree with, Tariq? This is not like when people were saying, um, or when Tariq was saying, which is what I was offending when Tariq was saying, hey, why should we support, Tariq is talking about, Trump is talking about tangibles. Why should we support the Democrats? That was clear that Tariq was not actually, Tariq made it clear in that tweet what part of what Trump was saying that he was actually supporting. He was only supporting the part where Trump was talking about specifically supporting black Americans, not anything else that he talked about in that video. Tariq was, to me, in my opinion, he was clear enough in that tweet. But in this, I actually agree with Trump tweet, he wasn't clear on what he was agreeing with, which can cause misconceptions, and that is Tariq's fault. There's no way around that. But at the same time, again, Yvette and Tone could have attempted to reach out privately first, but no, instead they came at him publicly on Twitter, and then Tone jumped on YouTube and made a whole 25-minute video, which was basically a low-key attack, because first you talked about the Trump tweets and opportunity zones, and then you started talking about things that you really had a problem with, which was this Foundational Black American Conference, which has nothing to do with the Trump tweet. But again, it just shows that that's something that you were harboring, maybe because it was, planted in your head by Agent Michi. I don't know, Tone. But these things, just because Tariq did actually say something about opportunity zones, that doesn't change the fact that you and Yvette still jumped out the window, still came at Tariq publicly, still jumped on YouTube and hurried up and made a 25-minute video. It all felt like an attack to me personally. And there's a lot of things that I don't agree with Tariq with, and I feel like he overreacts to, like a lot of times when he tells people, his followers, or anybody that's on his channel that doesn't agree with him, that they're trolling. I don't agree with that. But at the same time, in this instance, and I've talked about other things like how I withdrew financial support from Hidden Colors 5 because I didn't agree with some of the people in there. But regardless of the things that I personally have disagreed with Tariq on this point, I couldn't help but agree with him, because to me it felt like an attack. I know a lot of ADOS supporters, a lot of Yvette and Tone supporters are claiming that it wasn't an attack, it was just a respectful disagreement, but that's not how I see it. It felt like an attack to me, and it obviously felt like an attack to Tariq, and it felt like an attack to a lot of other people. I know, the Tone and Yvette camp continue to claim that it was just respectful disagreement, but I don't agree with that. I still feel like they could have handled that situation differently, even though I still do apologize for the fact that I claim that Tariq never said anything that would give you the impression that he supported opportunity zones, and that's obviously not true. He did. But again, it still doesn't change the fact that the screenshots, and that's what you should see up on your screen now, the screenshots that Ebro used to provoke Antonio Moore into attacking Tariq Nasheed did not include those tweets that allegedly supported opportunity zones, which tells me, and then the fact that Tone also had to go and start talking about the FBA conference, another thing he could have reached out to Antonio Moore about Antonio could have reached out to Tariq behind closed doors about. The fact that he had to also jump out and attack that publicly tells me that Antonio Moore was harboring resentment against Tariq Nasheed. He was harboring the resentment allegedly about this opportunity zone tweet, because he started talking about opportunity zones, even though that particular tweet that provoked the whole thing, or the particular screenshots that provoked Tone to jump out at Tariq, did not include the opportunity zone supporting tweet. So that means that he had already looked at that tweet and was harboring resentment about that tweet, and he was harboring resentment about the FBA conference, and subsequently jumped out with that video that started this whole downhill division between ADOS and FBA. Um, but anyway, fam, that's another video. Just me addressing the ADOS versus FBA division a little bit more. And again, like I said, even with all that said, I still don't feel that Tariq is a Trump supporter, because of his track record of the things he said about Trump, the things he continues to say about white supremacy, the things he says about our tangibles. If you look at his overall body of work, that one slip up should not lead you to believe that he's a Trump supporter. And again, even if you did start to believe that, or start to believe he was going in that direction, you could have reached out to the brother privately, and then if he doesn't respond privately, then you go public with it. And then, of course, if people have a problem with you going public with it, you then can produce receipts that, hey, I tried to talk to this dude behind closed doors and he wasn't listening. So don't talk to me, talk to him. If that was the case, I would have a lot more respect for the way Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell handled the situation. But given that they chose to handle it the way they did, I'm still disappointed in them. And I still, regardless of how they handle the situation, like I said, well before any of this happened, so this is irrespective of how they handle the situation, whether they handled it the way I would prefer or not. I still don't trust them to lead a white supremacy movement, or an anti-white supremacy movement. I still don't trust them to lead that. And I've made videos about that in the past, but I probably may make more expounding on why I don't trust them. Um, but anyway, fam, this is just another uh, ramble, rant, essay of me talking about the opportunity zones and clarifying some things, and also issuing an apology for where I was wrong. So anyway, like, share, subscribe. Peace.